So guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Wednesday upload, which will be doing a performance and tutorial. So with all that said, let's just jump straight into it. So as you can see, we'll be using these Game of Thrones Fury 11 playing cards. The box is fucking incredible. I just love Fury 11 cards, to be honest. They are amazing. So we're going to remove the cards, we'll get rid of the box for now, and we will remove any jokers or advertising cards before we begin. Okay, place them off to the side. Perfect. So I'm going to be showing you one of my favourite impromptu triumph routines, so we'll get straight into it. So first off, the deck can be shuffled and the spectator gets a free selection of any card. It doesn't matter if I see the card, it's not that kind of trick. So let's say in this case they select the Queen of Clubs. Now if I were to ask the spectator if they're going to be able to find their card, the Queen of Clubs, they'd probably say yes, because it is on the face of the deck. Although I've had a few drunk people in the past that have said no, but that's the fun of this game. So the Queen of Clubs, they say they can find it, but we're going to try and make it a bit more difficult. And the way we're going to do that is just by taking the Queen of Clubs and flipping it face down. Okay, so I ask the same question again. I ask the spectator, do you think you'll be able to find the Queen of Clubs? They say yes. Obviously it's going to be slightly more difficult, but obviously it's still on top of the deck. Okay, to make things even harder, we're going to take the card and we're going to leave it somewhere in the middle of the pack, just like that. We'll leave it sticking out for now. Okay, I'll ask the question again. Do you think you'll be able to find the Queen of Clubs? At this point, they'll probably still say yes. It's probably a bit too easy as it is still visible. But if I had to square that card into the middle of the pack, just like that, that makes things slightly more difficult. Okay. Now, to make things even more difficult, we're going to try and mix the deck in a way that is a bit chaotic. We're going to shuffle these cards face up into face down, just like this. So we've got face up cards and face down cards just being weaved into each other, just like this. So we have face up cards going into the face down cards. We square everything together, just like this. That should be a huge chaotic mess with cards going every which way throughout the entire deck. Now I have no idea where your card is at this point. It's not on the bottom because I thought that was the Three of Clubs earlier. So I'll just place that into the middle of the deck. But obviously finding your card is going to be very difficult because we have got cards going face up, into face down, back into face up, back into face down, into face up, into face down, all the way throughout the pack. So it's going to be pretty difficult for anyone to be able to locate your card without flipping the deck over. But if I'm to challenge the spectator right now to locate their card, as soon as they touch the deck, something incredible happens and they very rarely notice it. Because at this point, if they were to spread through the cards, they'll notice that every single card is face up, except for one card, being their selection, the Queen of Clubs. So that is the performance of an impromptu triumph routine. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to learn how to do it, then please stick around. If you don't want to know how it's done, then please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you do want to learn, then I shall see you in just a second. So to perform this intermediate, I would say this is an intermediate level trick. It's pretty simple, but there are a few slight moves that you're going to need to be able to do in order to perform this, and we'll go through them very shortly. So the deck can be shuffled. It doesn't matter what deck you're using, and it doesn't have to be a full deck. It can just be, it can even be a borrowed deck. That's the beauty of this sort of trick. So you start by giving the deck a shuffle, and the spectator gets a free choice of any card. And as you're spreading the cards, what you're going to want to do is just get a break below the top two cards here as you're spreading through. So let's say they select the Queen of Hearts in this case, and as we square up, we're going to get a break beneath those top two cards there. And now we strip the cards out, the card they selected out, in this case the Queen of Hearts, and we're just going to place it on top, on the face there, above our break. So now once we have the card selected and it's on the face, we ask the spectator if they're going to be able to find their card. They'll probably say yes. They could say no. It'll be pretty funny if they said no, but hey ho. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to do a triple turnover. So we're going to take the top three cards and we're just going to flip them over as one. And we're going to ask the same question again. So that would just look like that in full speed pretty much. You're just going to turn over the 3 cards as one, just like that. Ask the same question. Will you be able to find your card? They'll probably say yes. And now at this point, all you're going to want to do is you're going to want to strip off this indifferent card, the card that's now been switched out. So all you're going to do is strip this card off, the top card, and as you do it, you're going to do a wrist kill move in which you just turn your hand over. Now, when I started doing the wrist kill move, I thought you had to do it at lightning quick speeds. Now, what you don't want to do is that, because it just looks a bit weird. Why are you doing it so quick? Just do it like at this sort of speed. So it just looks like you're stripping the card off and turning your hand over, because you don't want to flash the back of this card here, okay? Because otherwise you give away the trick. So you just strip off and turn your hand over, okay? And now all you're going to do now is just place this card into the middle of the pack. It doesn't matter where, just anywhere in the middle, and you're going to leave it sticking out at this point. Obviously you don't want to flash that it's an indifferent card at this point, or ever for that matter. So you're going to ask the same question again. Do you think you'll be able to find their card? They'll probably say yes. It doesn't really matter what the answer. You'll square in the card, push it all the way in, and ask the same question again. Now you're going to say you're going to do a shuffle with the deck. You're going to make it a bit more chaotic and more difficult to locate any card. And all you're going to do is you're going to get a break below the bottom card here, which is the second indifferent card that we flipped over at the start. We're going to convert that to a thumb break, just like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to swing cut over about half the cards into our left hand. And then as we square up, in the motion of squaring up, all we're going to do is we're going to bring these packets together. We're going to drop that card below our thumb break on top of that packet. So we'll just restart that again for you. So we're going to swing cut, and then we're going to bring these packets together, and we're going to drop the break here. And then as we do that, all we're going to do is we're going to, I don't know how to describe this, is we're going to twist our hands just like this, okay? So essentially all we're doing is flipping over the packets whilst doing a little twisting motion. So with our right hand, we're going to grab the packet and we're going to twist it like this. And with our left hand, we're just going to twist it like this, okay? So in all together, it's just going to look like that, okay? So we'll just quickly reset everything. Yeah, perfect. So quickly reset everything and we'll go through it again once quickly. So we're going to swing cut, we're going to drop above the break, below the break even, and then we're going to readjust just like that. Okay? So at full speed, that's what it should look like. Now at this point, you're going to grab the 2 packets, and essentially here, you've got a packet here with all face-up cards. So these are all face-up, except it's got one face-up card on the back of it, just like this. And these cards are all face-up here, with a face-down card on the front here. So we're gonna do a Pharaoh shuffle now. It doesn't have to be a perfect Pharaoh. It just needs to be a Pharaoh shuffle in this case. And we're gonna weave the cards together. So just gonna apply a little pressure. If you can't do a perfect Pharaoh, I can't do a perfect Pharaoh every time, to be honest. But if you want to learn how to do a Pharaoh, then please let me know in the comments and I'll drop a tutorial for that. But all you're going to do is slightly angle the cards, push together, and then they should shuffle together. All you want to do is make sure you get this face down card here on the top of the deck, okay? So once you shuffle these cards together, you're going to push them together, but you're not going to square them entirely. So you're going to leave them like this. And we're going to do a little display now, which makes it seem like the cards are actually genuinely being shuffled. But there is a bit of a discrepancy, but no one will really notice it. It looks really cool. So at this point, once we're at this stage, all we're going to do is we're going to riffle through the face-up section of these cards here. So we're going to say we've got face-up cards, and then what we're going to do is we're going to flip the deck long ways, just like this. And at this point, we're just going to riffle through this section of the deck at the front and say we've got going into face-down cards. So at full speed, it looks like this. We've got face-up cards, going into face-down cards, and then you square the packets together. And now once you've squared everything together, you are left with this situation right here. We have the indifferent card, of which we have the 7 of hearts face up on top, and we have the Queen of Hearts face up on the bottom. okay, which is the spectator's card, obviously. So we'll square everything up and we'll move on to the next part. So once we're at this stage, we're going to do a very fancy cut. I forget the name of it, to be honest. It might be called the crocodile or the alligator. I'm not entirely sure, but it's very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to swing cut a portion of cards over, and we're going to flip it over into our left hand. So we're going to take the top section of the deck, and we're going to flip it over into our left hand. Then we're going to go to swing cut again, but instead we're going to leave the middle packet face down in the middle, just like that, but leave it outjogged for the time being. And then we're going to flip the bottom packet even, and we're going to flip this on top, just like that. And once we're at this point, we're going to take the middle packet out and we're going to flip it back out and place it on top. Okay? So what that does is it just essentially reverses the deck order. We've got the spectator's card on top and the indifferent card on the bottom. Okay? So it's essentially just flipped over the deck. Okay, but it looks very convincing. So in full speed, we're going to swing cut, we're going to flip, we're going to swing cut, we're going to drop the middle packet out jogged, we're going to flip the bottom packet on top, and we're going to do this just like that, flip that on top, and then it looks like this. Okay, so it just looks like we've got a wild mess of cards going face up and face down throughout the entire deck, which is exactly what we want. Because now at this point, we're going to say we have no idea where your card is. We know your card's not on the bottom because we have this 7 of hearts. We're going to just place that into the middle of the pack and we're going to square it in. Now the next bit is entirely optional. I did it in the performance, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It is kind of a tricky move to get used to at full speed. But we're essentially going to be doing, I forget the name of this move as well. I should research this before I start filming, really. But we're essentially going to be trying to convince the spectators that there's more than one face down card in the deck at this point. So the way I did this in the video is I lifted up a bunch of cards, so up to 2 to 3 cards, and then I'm going to strip the top card, which is obviously face down, and we're going to get, oh, that was not a very good example. So we're going to lift up 2 to 3 cards, and then we're going to get a break with our pinky here. Then we're going to take the top card, which is obviously face down, and then we're going to place that card into the break, and we're going to make it seem like we're just placing that into the middle of the pack. Okay? I will research the name of this move. There is a move for it because we use this a lot in the ambitious card routine. So yeah, we're going to be placing that card so it looks like it's going into the middle of the pack because of the break here. Then we let go of the break. We're going to take the next face up card. Now we're back to the same face down card. We're going to pretty much repeat the same thing over and over again. So we're going to say we've got more face up cards going into face up cards, more face up cards. We've got the same face down cards. You just do it 2 to 3 times, and then the final time you're just going to bury the face down card back into the middle for real. And now we hand the deck to the spectator who's just seen multiple face down cards in the deck. You hand them the deck, and as soon as they touch the deck, you're going to say, wow, did you not see what happened? You're going to act really shocked as if something incredible's happened. And you're going to spread through the cards and reveal, so finally you have a deck that is fully face up with one card that's face down, which is their selection. So that is the tutorial for that particular Triumph routine. If you didn't understand any of it, please make sure to drop a comment down below and I'll try and clarify any confusions. With all that said, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.